Good morning, guys. It is day number 3 already in Birmingham, and I just weighed myself. My weight is 110.4, so that's only 200 grams more than yesterday before the loading. So that's perfect, which means I gain around 200 grams, but keep in mind you lose water weight from the stress, the cortisol, so you lose fatigue water, you gain glycogen. We just took pictures. I'm very happy with the look right now. Dryness is still there. Today we're going to dry it up a little bit more and put in the carbs. So what I'm doing now is I'm really measuring by the milliliters how much water I'm going to drink today. So here is 800 mils in here. Today is going to be 3 liters of water in total, depending on the look and the weight later on tonight. Maybe a little bit more depending on what the coach says. But I'm going to use the water weight of 3 liters in my meals as well, because in a cream of rice you put water. I don't count it from the rice itself. I mean, that's a little too extreme, but from the cream of rice I easily put 600 or 700 mils. So if I don't count that and I have 4 of those meals, that's still 2.5 liters, for example, which will be a lot of water weight not accounted for. So that's what we're going to do. And yeah, I'm just going to take a little bit of glutamine. Let's see, right here. So I put some glutamine in here. This is the white powder by ESN. So it is L-glutamine, very high quality. But what it does is, if you take it on an empty stomach, the big benefit is your intestines will be healed and digestion will be improved. So I'm going to put 15 grams of that simply in a little cup like this. And I already wrote down. Let's see, let's actually note it down, guys, so you can see what I'm doing. So, for example, this was yesterday with all the bottles that you can see that I drank. And I'm going to edit that and make it 800 mils. So the moment that I drank this, I'm gonna check mark it, and then I know that I drank that amount. So from here I'm gonna take it out and then check mark if I take out that amount of water. Right now it's a little bit of a measuring game, of course. So put some water in here and a little more. Let's see, a spoon. Use the glutamine in here. And this is where it's very important that you have a good mixability of your powders, guys. You have glutamine that's has like a granular texture, like a sandy texture, sinks to the bottom. This is like a fine powder, which allows you to drink it. So I'm just about to drink this, and I'll probably see you at the first meal. Meal number 1 right here. Of course, with my trustworthy water, which I'm tracking. Meal number 1 is simply the rice with the pineapple, the almond butter, asparagus, and both chicken or turkey have been reduced now because I want to keep the stomach as small as possible. When carbs are this high, protein can be lowered substantially. You won't lose any muscle at all because the carbs are protein sparing. But most importantly is that we need to make weight at 7:30 p.m., probably 8 p.m. tonight, so that is very important. But yeah, I'm going to enjoy this, and actually I will take a short walk after this to get things flowing and going. And you see me sitting behind this laptop quite a lot, and I take this laptop with me usually to answer emails, I don't do coaching at this very moment, but later on in the year I'll resume my coaching again. But I still have nutrition plans, custom workout plans, carb cycling plans, custom classic workout plans online on the Vissers website. Check the link down below if you're interested, but every single day that keeps me busy. And of course I also like to keep myself on the latest literature and forums regarding bodybuilding, nutrition, and yeah, that's just interesting to me. And yeah, that's one thing that relaxes me, that brings the stress down, just to be able to focus on other things as well. But for now, I'm going to enjoy this meal. Later on the day, we'll be applying 1 or 2 coats of tanning. We bring our own tanning with me, and you'll see that Marley will be applying it, which is always the best in my opinion. And then we're going to go to the to my coach, then the meet and greet, and then the weigh-in. And then, yeah, it's going to be an exciting day, and I'm very excited for tomorrow. Coach is also very happy with the pictures that we just took in the morning. Yeah, shape is better than ever. Whether that shape is going to win the contest, I am not sure, because if they go for extreme conditioning, less classical shape, it might not go my way. But for me, my coach and me both agree this is the best possible shape I've ever had. People in the comment section and people telling me also that the fullness you have right now with the conditioning, that's the best combination you've ever had. So to me, it's about improvement, guys, and this is just the beginning of the season. So I'm very excited. I will be going to the Olympia this year. That is my ultimate goal, so you will see me there. But for now, let's just enjoy this meal. Water is reduced, salt is reduced, so we're going to keep the weight low, weigh ourselves after every meal, and that's basically what's going to happen today. This is our little cottage in the UK. You can't get it more real than this. So this, I think, and you Birmingham and UK viewers gotta correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the typical neighborhood house of, you know, I don't want to say, maybe the suburbs of a city, but it's very nice. We are at the end of the road here. You can park here. That's our rental car with the steering wheel on the other side. Hey, but yes, this is where we are staying for the next couple of days. And for now, we're just gonna walk a little bit. What I don't want to do is be sedentary the entire day, so I'm just gonna take a slow walk and yeah, get stuff moving. And when I'm back home, I'm gonna eat my second meal. But it's always nice to get some fresh air, and also it's very good for digestion, bowel movements, and this is what I do on a day-to-day basis anyway, stress relieving. So let's just enjoy this walk. Ah, 17 minutes, perfection. Okay guys, so it's time for the next meal, and before eating the next meal, I always go to the bathroom and I weigh myself so I know exactly the effect the meal had on my body. So we're gonna weigh ourselves to see how much I weigh. Right, so that's 110.9. So since the morning we gained 500 grams. Now we're gonna see the same thing. I'm gonna eat this meal. We're gonna see how much I weigh before meal number 3, etc. And the moment we see a trend going up towards 112 and above, that's when we have to cut down, of course, because we cannot go above the 112 mark. And that's very important, so that's why you always have to take your scale with you, just to see you're in the safe zone. And you know, the decrease in water today really does help. because the water weight is what is literally dictating your weight. It can differ from like 2 to 4 kilos depending on how much water you drink. And once I get dressed, I'll show you the next meal. Okay, ready for the next meal. I put the water in this shaker cup in the cream of rice. So now I already drank one of these shaker cups, and whatever is left in here is the second part of the 800 mils. We also added a banana and obviously the incredible calabash, and also the, how do you call it? The Rice Krispie Square. Let me see how many carbs this is. In total, this meal is 113 grams of carbs. So let's enjoy this one. Meal number 2. Putting in the rice for 3 meals to take with me to the registration and the athlete check-in, just to make sure that, you know, you never know how long these things take, that I have plenty enough food with me, you know, to oversee that amount of time. Alright, now it's nicely saturated. Gonna take just one of these meals. Let's mix up a little bit. These are all the same meals pretty much. The pineapple, I left out the asparagus for now. I'm reducing the fiber, you know, to make the stomach as small as possible. The only fiber in here is from the pineapple. And we're gonna be adding a little bit of this to it as well. Almond butter, very delicious, so always welcoming. It's going to be 10 grams in this one, just like that, a little less. Perfect. Kaboom. Put in a little more because whatever is on this spoon we'll be going in here. 20 grams in here. Yep. Just like that. Perfect. And now it's time to get tanned. Let's paint. Alright guys, we are fully tanned. The first coat is on. As you can see, my lovely girlfriend. I like to call her, well, I think girlfriend sounds a little immature since we have 2 children. I already like to call her my wife because she will be in the future anyway. But anyway, she is the one who did the tanning for me. She's been doing this, she did it in Portugal. Well, she has done it for almost every competition except for the Olympias, because then I had to go in quarantine alone. But we are tanned, and now we're gonna go to the Hilton Hotel where my coach is, where the athletes meet and greet is, the registration, so let's go. Okay guys, we are here at the Hilton Hotel. The meet and greet is going to start in about half an hour, but before that we're going to check the shape, of course, because right here Stefan, my coach, the boss of Outlaw, is putting the finishing touches on what we need to do for tomorrow. But it's also very important to make weight, of course, which is in about 2 hours I think I need to weigh in. I don't think it's going to be a problem, but at the same time I'm closer to the weigh-in now than usual, and in my opinion it brings my body more to life.
So we're going to see what the outcome is going to be, and regardless, it's going to be an exciting show. I think my shape is now the better combination of both the fullness and conditioning compared to before, so very exciting, and we are going to see that tomorrow.
It's very interesting because I think totally the same than Wesley, and even if I'm a true condition lover, most people who know me know I strive always or really often for the best condition, but actually that's not what bodybuilding should be 100%.
No.
It should be the best of all worlds. And when we compare the best condition you had at the Olympia and compare to the pictures today, the overall package and the beauty of the pictures right now is just better.
Yeah, I agree.
It just looks better, and I really hope that that the judges will reward that, because when you get a closer look on Wesley's physique, which is very unique, the way he is built, he is very, very tall, his straight midsection. When you get him down too much and he's losing too much volume, he's getting too straight, and he's losing his beauty and his curves. Like a good girl is losing the curves.
Exactly.
And the same is for Wesley. So that's why I'm very excited of the outcome tomorrow. Because both of us think that the condition is really the best of all combinations, so it will be interesting. And for sure, after the show, we will do the right adaptations, also to fit what the judges want, because in the end of the day, that is what counts.
At the end of the day, we're going to do the show with this package, and depending on how we are judged against, for example, more conditioned guys, if they all beat me, well, then we know, okay, they simply want conditioning, even though my shape...
we don't like it.
Yeah, even though if we don't like it, but right now, I personally wasn't a fan of my look at the Olympia. We drove the conditioning down to see, okay, what it would look like ultimately conditioned, and I couldn't be more dry than I was, but I was more stringy. And when I'm tall and a little more stringy, then I don't have any advantage over beautifully shaped people with also conditioned. So we need to have the best of both worlds, and I think we have achieved it. But if we have to strive for a little bit more condition for the next shows, then we will. But the only way to find out is to do the show. So we'll see.
And one example for the best of both worlds for me is always Ruff. Terence Ruffin is the best of both worlds, and he shows that it can happen, because he won the Arnolds two times. He never was the condition. He was most of the time the least conditioned guy in the top 5, and he won the show because for his kind of physique, that was the best thing to do. So let's see tomorrow. It's very, very, very exciting.
It is.
And I hope you all follow out there, and I hope you all support Wesley with his code on ESN. And buy those incredible products we stand for. And we develop for you.
As you saw in the supplements that I take in my preparations for this competition, the supplements, to me, they are called supplements, but they are to me essential to bring the best possible package, both health-wise, shape-wise, to get in deeper conditioning, to be able to get those essential fatty acids in, even though when you're very low caloric, for example. So supplements really are essential for competitive bodybuilders or anyone who is serious about changing their physique and their health in the best possible way. So check the link down below to see my code and to check out the supplements for yourself. Marley just put on the second layer of tan. As you can see, it's nice and dark.
We are now gonna go to sleep after eating one more meal, and then we're gonna apply a third, maybe a fourth layer of tan to really get a dark color for the contrast lighting on stage, not to blur me out or to make me too light. The recap of what has happened at the athletes meet and greet is I met a lot of great people, took a lot of pictures of course, but at the weigh-in, most importantly, I weighed in with these clothes, and I actually weighed in a little bit more than 247 pounds, but they could see that I was below that weight cap because my weight cap is 247 pounds. So, I am very close to the weight cap, but in much better shape for sure, much more fullness. There are a couple of guys who didn't make weight, like Peter Molnar. He told me beforehand he was like 3 kilos over his weight limit at least, so he's gonna do 212. Also, Madelman. So Jose from Spain, who I actually battled in Portugal last year, is now not competing. It was already a question whether he was going to make weight last year, and now he didn't make weight, so he's also going to do 212. And also Cuba is going to do 212. I mean, open bodybuilding even, he's too heavy for 212. But he already knew that because he was literally 20 pounds too heavy. So that means that 3 less athletes will be competing tomorrow in the Classic Physique class, and 1 more athlete that you saw in a previous video, the new IFBB Classic Physique Pro, that is going to make his debut at the Arnold Classic. The coach also, of course, as you saw, gave me some nice pointers. We have dropped the water tonight a little bit, and what I just had is 1 cream of rice meal. Gonna have the same cream of rice meal after this, and instead of half a muffin, we're just gonna go for the rice bars, the rice cereal bars to eat with this meal. That digests really well, very dry carbohydrate source. And tomorrow we're gonna wake up, have the first meal of the day is gonna be the same as the first meal today. And the only thing that I'll do after that is take some pictures, send them to the coach, see what the plan is, probably a little less water intake, and because the show is at 2 or 3 p.m. in the afternoon, there's still room to play because I have my first meal at around 8 or 9 a.m. and then we have a couple of hours more to see what we're gonna do in terms of the carb intake. And that is pretty much it, guys. So we're just gonna have 1 more meal a little later, then have a nice sleep, wake up, take the pictures, have the meal, get another 2 layers of tanning, and then we are ready to rock the stage. I really want to thank a lot of you guys for coming up to me and shaking my hand, taking pictures, telling me that I inspire them, inspire you to make healthier foods, to think about your health as well. And it's just very motivating to hear, so I'm not going to stop these videos. Obviously, it even motivates me to keep going even more. And as I always said, this is just the beginning of the season. We're going to do a lot more shows. And thank you all for watching, and see you in the next video. And don't forget to stay golden.